Let's start down here in our general vicinity. The Georgia-Auburn game, which turned into the Auburn-Georgia game with not much participation from the Georgia side. Auburn had a fantastic game. It was War Eagle this and War Eagle that. I'm sure my daughter Crystal's extremely happy her team thrashed her older sister Kelly's UGA boys. Georgia is still in the East as the East representative in the SEC championship, so they will probably play either Alabama or Auburn, and we'll find out which one of those here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a great matchup between Auburn and Alabama, and Gus Malzahn and his football team should be very, very proud of what they've done and the way they're doing it. And if they can pull this off of the Georgia, Alabama, Georgia trifecta, they would be a legitimate two-loss team in the college football playoff. There's no doubt about that. Next score on the list was a game that was very highly anticipated. I will say, me personally, man, was I dead wrong about this. I had picked Miami every other week until this one, and then I decided I was going to outthink myself and go with the big physical running game. The big physical running game of Notre Dame got run around. They stopped the run. They couldn't handle the speed in any phase of Miami's game. And kudos to Mark Richt, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. The U is back. The turnover chain is a great gimmick for TV. Everyone's having a lot of fun with that. And how do you not have fun if you're Miami and you're 9-0 and looking at a pretty epic season, and there's nothing in front of you that would hinder your ability to have an undefeated season leading into the college football playoff the way they played last Saturday night. They totally dismantled what looked to be a slow and inferior football team in Notre Dame. Next score up, it couldn't be the Big 12 without some crazy scoring games. This example, pretty nuts. 49-42. For those of you that watched it, it was an incredible performance by Mason Rudolph and company at Oklahoma State. Coach Gundy, he of the mullet, had enough late to overcome Iowa State, who has had a pretty special year. But late in this game, as they have come in a couple other games, they just haven't had the goods to be able to close and finish the deal. Oklahoma State did have that at the end, and they came out on top of this one. Next game, most of you, in fact, I would say 95 to 98% of the football fans in America didn't see this game. Matter of fact, the beginning of the game got switched over to another network because they were finishing up a NASCAR Truck Series race. Don't know what's up with that, but Stanford beat Washington and ending the Pac-12's any legitimate chance that the Pac-12 would get a college football playoff team in there, because every single member of the Pac-12 at this point has at least 2 losses, and whoever wins that North versus South matchup will not be in the college football playoff. 2 losses regardless. They won't have the kind of resume that an aforementioned Auburn would then have. But, hey, way to go, Stanford, because they beat what I thought was the best team on the West Coast in the University of Washington. Move on to the next score. Hey, there's a theme here. I was wrong about this one, too. TCU, I thought, had a really good chance of beating OU, but Baker Mayfield put some more cement into the argument that he will be the Heisman Trophy winner. Another one out of the University of Oklahoma. I believe the first quarterback to win the Heisman out of Oklahoma in a little bit. But he just threw pass after pass on the run, in the pocket, under duress. It really didn't matter. He is the best player in the country right now. And I got a lot of respect for Bryce Love. I got a lot of respect for JT Barrett. Got a lot of respect for insert name here. But, man, it is clear right now Baker Mayfield is the best player in the United States. Last score is a little bit off the reservation, but nonetheless, it was a matchup in the Mountain Division out in the Mountain West, 59-52. What is this, the Big 12? Boise State goes to Colorado State and beats them. Pretty special game for Boise. These are the kind of games when you win them, they've got a great lasting kind of hangover effect, only from the standpoint of you do everything you can to win a game like this, and it comes out in your direction. For Mike Bobo and Colorado State, extremely frustrating, no doubt, but they've got to look on the bright side. You scored a lot of points. Okay, that'll do it for college football. Let's have a little look over on the NFL side. For those of you that this Veterans Holiday decided to watch NFL and see it, here's what you also might have caught. The Falcons had a dominating performance against the Dallas Cowboys. One of the more interesting scenarios in this game was kind of off the field between the owners, but that's for another time. But Matt Ryan and the Falcons played really well. Dak Prescott and company. Zeke Elliott must be easily their MVP because they looked a whole lot different than the team that had been playing the last few weeks with Elliott at running back. Next score, it was the battle of a one-loss team or one-win team against a clean slate of the Niners. Well, the Niners came out on top. Nice job by C.J. Beathard, the quarterback. He showed a lot of toughness. He showed a lot of grit. He had a long pass to Selleck, the tight end. He had a long pass to Godwin, the wide receiver. He was playing with a heavy heart. His wife had lost their child, and condolences to them now, or them for these last couple of days coming up. Would be really, really tough. But that was an incredible win for the 49ers over the Giants, and that will create a lot of, well, besides the Jets losing too, it'll create a lot of grief for the New York Giants and their coach and their organization. But hey, that's the way it goes. The Patriots and the Broncos Sunday night was 41-16. Doesn't describe it. The Patriots easily beat the Broncos, and this was in Denver. And this is a kind of patchwork Patriot team, scoring 41 points against what was at the beginning of this season thought to be a really good defense. Well, they can't score. They have no leadership at quarterback. I don't care if it's Simeon or Osweiler or who's playing quarterback. They just can't do much in the way of anything on the offensive side of the ball. And the Patriots beat them, and beat them pretty handily on a nice Sunday night. Can't say it was a close game. Can't say it was a fun game because I didn't watch it. Now, a game that is pretty amazing to me is the matchup between two teams that have traditionally in these last few years not been very good. The Texans continued that tradition, but how about the Rams? The Rams scored the fewest points in the NFL last year. This year, under Sean McVay, they are scoring the most points in the NFL. Just an amazing comeback, or bounce back, I should say, as a football team. And the Rams are for real. They really, really are. And yesterday was at the expense of the Houston Texans, but good to see. Very, very good to see. Jared Goff's a fun quarterback. They're a great offense. And with some of the personnel they got on the defensive side of the ball, they can also give some people grief. All right, let's go to the final score of the weekend from the NFL side. The New Orleans Saints. How do you not like the Saints? Drew Brees is scoring and throwing and playing like he's only 30, because he's a lot older than 30. He's more like 40, but he's playing very, very well. On offense, they are playing at a really high level. But the news story to me is Saints have a defense. and the Saints look pretty doggone good. Look at how the NFL is currently in the standings kind of on its ear. You're looking at the Titans, you're looking at the Jaguars, you're looking at the Eagles, you're looking at the Saints, you're looking at the Rams. Those are not your traditional powerhouses in the NFL. And all those guys are at or near the top of their divisions and playing as good a football as you've seen. So it's fun to see new people, new blood get involved in the NFL.